We are giving 1 minute buffer time. Please bear with us. Very good afternoon, all who are there in the board. Thank you so much for your patience. This is Prashant, UL Group employee, along with my technical team and the management. So, after successful completion of first part of webinar on Revolution product called RevoPy, we are in the second stage. I believe many of you are a participant in the first webinar. So if any one of you are a new joining for the second webinar directly, I request all of you can have your question in the chat box, or will give you a sufficient time to raise your questions by interrupting in end of the webinar or middle of the webinar. Thank you so much. Just a recap of first webinar was, as the name indicates, RevPy, that means revolution product from commercial to industrial grade. So it was the discussion in the first webinar how it is different between Raspberry Pi and the Revolution Pi. What exactly the difference? So with respect to commercial grade and the industrial grade, we made very clear to our customer what exactly the difference and how it is easy to customer to have their protocol, OT protocol to IT protocol. As UL Group always support to customer, we take every end-to-end solution from operation technology to information technology. So we have all kind of product basket range along with us, including Revolution Pi. Name indicates it's a very unique revolution product for industrial segment. So we also discussed how it helps with the Node-RED and also how you can collect the data from your sensors and simultaneously how you can push the data to cloud. So all those point, very unique point we have discussed with our customer. Also they have raised many of their questions. We have clarified. So similar way, we are there to here to support all your queries and questions. I would like to request Pradeep to carry forward. If you have any questions, please put into the chat box so that we will respond it on an immediate basis. Thank you so much again who are there in the board. I believe you can enjoy this webinar. Pradeep, over to you.
Thank you, Prashant sir. Thank you for the introduction and quick recap of previous webinar. Before proceeding further, let me know my voice is loud and clear and my screen is visible to you. Can you confirm, Prashant sir?
Yes. Yes, you are clear. Please go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, welcome all participants in today's webinar. I am Pradeep Jadhav, IIoT Technical Support and Application Developer at Evel Electro Devices Private Limited. We at Evel Group help you to upgrade your existing plant in Industry 3.0 to Industry 4.0 with our revolutionary IIoT product basket range. We organize this series of webinar to introduce our one of the best universal IIoT hardware called Revolution Pi, which is all-in-one for industrial IoT applications. And we will explore its capabilities in practically. So it is one of the best fit for your IoT needs. As my colleague Mr. Prashant has given quick review about the previous webinar, where we have practically demonstrated how you can use Revolution Pi with the Node-RED and how you can log the data in MySQL databases. In today's session, we will see practically how to program Revolution Pi in Python and how it communicates with the IIoT cloud. Before that, let's have a quick overview of the product details and its capabilities and why we call it Revolution Pi. So let's begin with our today's agenda. First of all, we will see what is Revolution Pi. Then we will see about its base modules and expansion modules. Then we will see about virtual modules. We will discuss in detail in further slides. Then we will see how we can program Revolution Pi. Then we will see how does it work. Then we will see one typical application where you will see IT/OT convergence. Then, as we all know, as it is going to be connected to internet, then what security measures are there? Then what are the possibilities with the Revolution Pi? Then we will see one basic block diagram, and then we will have a practical demonstration. To begin with, we will directly come to Revolution Pi. In picture, you can see it is an open source platform for industrial applications based on the Raspberry Pi. Here you can see everything is open, and this is a Revolution Pi Core 3, and you can see it is a open source hardware, no strings attached. This is a center module which we call Raspberry Pi compute module, which we are using in all the Revolution Pi controllers. So then what are the specifications of the Revolution Pi? We will see. All the Revolution Pi has the processor which has up to 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor. It will vary model to model. And every Revolution Pi has 1 GB RAM, and all these modules are available in 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 and 32 GB variants. It works on 12 to 24 DC supply, and its operating temperature is minus 40 degrees Celsius to plus 55 degrees Celsius, which means it can survive. It is made so that it can survive in the industrial environment. Humidity is 93%. It has IP20 rating. It has all the it has ASD protection, EMI test, all the surge and burst test according to EN 61131 and IEC 6100062 standard. It has also it has also passed all the certifications like CE, UL, ROHS, and this is open source. So why open source? So there are a lot of advantages there. One is the price. The price point is quite obvious. Most open source software do not charge any fees. Hence, there is an obvious cost saving for the business. Another thing is a control. Being an open source product, it has you can have complete control over the controller, where in proprietary controller you don't. So there is no lock-in. So no lock-in in the sense open source software is provided with the no strings attached and no written with widely used standards which allow communication and migration to other systems straightforward. Proprietary systems are designed to be incompatible with other systems so that businesses are locked in. Another thing is it has a strong, fast and effective technical community. The benefit of the community is businesses have access to the finest talent in the industry, lending their support to the open source initiative. The open source community continues to grow rapidly in various certifications and training program exist to help and set the standard and grow this product. So you already know a lot of success stories on open source, as in case of operating system there is a Linux, and in case of web browser there is a Firefox, Node-RED, MySQL, all other open source technologies we can use with this. Next we will see about its base module, what are the base modules we have and what are the expansion modules. We have basic three category in Revolution Pi controllers. First is RevoPi Connect, in which there are two variants, Connect and Connect Plus. Second, RevoPi Core, there are three variants, Core 3 Plus, Core 3 and Core. And another is RevoPi Compact. Then we have expansion modules to use. We have digital I/O modules, analog I/O module, CON expansion modules, and gateway modules as well. We will see in details in coming slides. These expansion modules can only be used with RevoPi Connect and RevoPi Core module only. You can't use the RevoPi Compact. These RevoPi Connect and Core are the modular, and this one is a compact. It has onboard IOs and communication protocols. But in case of RevoPi Connect and RevoPi Core, you can use this expansion module to expand the IOs and the gateways. Next, we will see about the DIO module. In DIO module, we have three variants. One we have RevoPi digital input module, digital output module, then digital input and output module, which has 28-pin connector to get the input and outputs. In DI module, there are only 16 inputs are available and outputs are 0. In DO module, only 16 outputs are available. Whereas in case of Revolution Pi DIO, we have 14 DI and 14 DO. We will see these little quickly so that the people who are new to this session, so that they will have a basic idea. Then we have AIO modules, which has a voltage input, current input, and voltage output and current output in the range of 0 to 5, 0 to 10, plus 2, minus 5, plus 10 to minus 10, and in case of current output, we have 4 to 20 or 0 to 20. For AI card, we have 4 analog input, 2 analog output, and 2 RTDs. In RevoPi Gateway, we have all the gateways available, so that we can integrate our Revolution Pi system in a field bus or in an industrial Ethernet network. And we also have RevoPi virtual devices. You can add these virtual devices from the software called PickTree. Here in example, I have added the Modbus TCP master virtual device, so that you don't need to have you don't need to purchase a physical device. You can have that functionality with these virtual devices. Then what are the programming things available? How we can program this Revolution Pi? There are two ways for open source programming. Who are familiar with computer programming languages, they can do program this in Python, C++, Java, and Node-RED, etc. And those who are from PLC background, who knows the IC 61131 programming languages like ladder logic, FBD, structure test, they can go with the codices and logicals. Then how does it work? As we all know, we have a Pi control module inside the Revolution Pi at its core. That Pi control communicate with your all the gateways, your AP with IT APIs, virtual devices. It can send data in various formats. In JSON, in case if you want to communicate with APIs. It will communicate with the cloud as well using MQTT or OPC way. It will communicate with your expansion modules using PyBridge and ConBridge. PyBridge for adding your DIO, AIO, and other gateway, and ConBridge is for connecting your CAN bus and M bus. Next, we will see a typical application of IT/OT convergence. This is an example of RayoPie Connect, where you can see it can collect your field bus data through industrial Ethernet, and it pass this data to your IT systems. Maybe it is a ERP system or your production planning system, or maybe it is a cloud. It send that data using MQTT or OPC way. So as you can see here, this module able to communicate with the cloud through internet. Then you might have questioned that what are the security features are available in RayoPie Connect. So for security point of view, we have a crypto chip called Atmel security chip. You can have the details about crypto chip through this link. Later I will share this in a chat box. So next we will see Revolution Pi. What are the, after looking all these points, then we will see what are all the possibilities with the RayoPie we have. So first of all, it's a smart control unit. Then it is act as a PLC as well. You might be wondering that how it will work as a PLC. Then let me clear. Using the base module, you can add your IOs and gateways, and you can program this you can program or write your logic using whether it is Codesys or Logicals or any other programming language like Python. You can write that, and then you can use it as an IPC as well, because it is a Linux based industrial PC. You can use it as a HMI, as we seen in last webinar. In Node that we were developed one visualization, and that we visualized through a web browser, and that you can access it from anywhere. It is a machine retrofit unit as well. If you have your existing plant, you can use there to upgrade your systems. In case you need a PLC to get some IOs, maybe it is a digital or analog or RTDs. In that case, you can use Revolution Pi as a PLC. You can have that signal in a Revolution Pi, and you can write your control logic in the programming language you prefer. Maybe it is Codesys or Logicals, and you can complete your project as per your control logic. Then it can be used for predictive maintenance solution. We all know the AWS Greengrass, one of the best for edge analytics. We use AWS Greengrass. You can go with Azure as well, and it is a cloud solution. You can use with any cloud solution, any cloud platform, and you can. It is a software platform as well, where you can write your own application, and it can be used as a step 7 coupler. So this module can communicate with your step 7 Siemens PLCs. After looking all these possibility, just what we can say it as a revolution. It is one unit with the endless possibilities. Then we will see a basic block diagram how we can connect these to our programming PC and do programming. Here you can see this is a basic block diagram. This is my Revolution Pi Connect module connected to a router, and my programming PC has connected to the same router, and through the through the IP address of this RayoPie Connect we can access that. So this is a basic block diagram, and now we will dive into a practical session. Now we will see the setup we have made here for this webinar. Okay, we have connected here a Revolution Pi Connect module with the DIO module. We have given a 24-volt supply. Then we have connected one router, and through this router, I am communicating. There is a communication between my programming PC and the Revolution Pi. Now we will. I will. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, Pradeep, you are audible.
Okay. Now the IP address of my controller is 192.168.137.66. Once I enter the IP address of Revolution Pi into browser, then the login page of Pictree web-based application will pop up. Here you can see what the Pictree is. It is a web-based application where you can configure your hardware.
ते म्हटलं की इकडे तुम्ही साईडला थांबा आणि एक्सपोर्ट आणि कॅमेरा मागे ठेवा.
आणि आता असं इकडे ठेवा. This is a Pictree application where these are the apps available. First is a Pictree, another is a Node-RED. Node-RED we already seen in last webinar. Pictree is for your hardware configuration. In config tab, you can configure or you can do settings according to your requirement. Here you can set your clock rate, and all the settings you can do from the configuration tabs. And here are the some services uh, you can enable or disable as per your requirement. Suppose you have to work with the Node-RED, then you have to enable Node-RED. Suppose you can use this as a remote access monitoring solution as well, then you can enable this TeamViewer RevPi service. If you want to program this using logical RTS, then you can enable this. If you want to communicate this Revolution Pi with the Siemens controllers, then you can enable this service called RevPi 7. If you want to add the functionality of Modbus master and Modbus slave, then you can enable this as well. And here you will get the status of your Revolution Pi. What is the serial number, uptime, CPU temperature, voltage, and how much free space you have left. Now we will see the Pictree, where we will see how we can configure the hardware for the today's setup. As you can see in a camera, there is one Revolution Pi and one DIO module, which is I have already configured. I hope you all are able to see this configuration in Pictree. In the middle, there is my base module called Revolution Pi Connect. On left, this is a RevPi DIO module. It has 14 digital input and 14 digital outputs. And here we will see how we now in today's webinar we will see how we can read the data using Python. So this is my hardware configuration. I will save this, save as a start configuration, and then you have to reset this driver in order to the changes should take effect. To make sure that whether all the hardware configuration is successfully accepted or not, you can follow these steps. Open your SSH client, PuTTY or Bitwise SSH client, and log in using SSH to RevPi. My IP address is 192.168.137.66. The default username will be Pi, and enter the password you have given. You will get access to the terminal. Just enter the command called PyTest, which is an application is installed on Revolution Pi. So it will show what are the modules are present. I have RevPi Connect, I have RevPi DIO module and Modbus TCP master. Now we will read some data from ModSim using Modbus slave, and that data will be captured using a Python. So here we will add some registers in a Pictree applications. This is my Modbus TCP master. Here you have to enter the slave IP address. Now as I am getting this data from ModSim, then slave IP address is nothing but the IP address of my laptop. Here you can add the register you want. Click on extended data. You can map your registers here. As I have already mapped 3 registers, register address 1, 2, 3, and to the variable names, input word 1, input word 2, and input word 3. And click on OK here. There are 2 ways whether you can insert data directly from here as well. Otherwise, you can go with the ModSim as well. Initially, we will insert the initial values 10, 20, and 30, which is already given. Now I will execute a Python script through which you will get to know this data is we are reading. I am looking for a Python file. Here you can see the Python scripts folder where I have stored all my scripts. Here you can see the Python files are available where I have written a program for reading data from Modbus Modbus server. To run this Python file, you have to run a command called python3 in the file name. Now we will exhibit this Python called sensor Modbus data. Wait a minute, before that, let me put a correct file there. This is a SFTP application where you can copy paste your applications. I will put that file on a desktop called sensor Modbus data. Now I will run this file from the my terminal. As we all know, this file is at present at a desktop. Here you can see sensor Modbus. My Python file is here. To run that command, I will execute this command python3 and file name. Here you can see one record inserted successfully into sensor Modbus TCP data table. One table we have created, and we have read those data through this Python file, which is given in this Pictree application. Here you can see. Input word 1, input word 2, and input word 3. Before that, have a look on a Python code once, so you will get idea how we are reading that data. Sudo to read that file, you can enter this command. This is a Python program I have written for that, and I have installed MySQL database as well. And I am reading these two input word 1, input word 2, input word 3 values. As you have seen, I have divided this value by 100 here. That's why it is in fraction. As you see here, the 20 is 0.2 because it is divided by 100. And the motto behind this is to you can write your logic as per your application or your control logic. If you have a PT100 sensor and you are connected to your RTD, then you have to divide the value getting from RTD by 100, so that you will get a correct temperature. Now we will see whether these data has inserted into the database or not. And to access the database, you have to run this command and enter your password. Here you can enter command show databases. Here we have created one database called sensor. We will use that database, use sensor. Here you can see the data is stored in this table called sensor Modbus TCP data. Now we will see all that data. Here you will see the values which we have inserted from Modbus TCP master 10 and then 20, and later we divided that by 100 in a program, then 30. Same you can match here as well. 10, 20, 30, and this input word 2 variable we divided by 100 just to show that you can modify or modify the data, manipulate the data the way you want. Now this is about the Python programming. Then we will see how we can communicate with the UB.Dots cloud. On UB.Dots cloud, I have created one visualization called ReoPy visualization. Through you can control this input from cloud, and you can actuate an output through cloud as well. So now first of all we will see the status of this input one. Now I have connected to the UB.Dots cloud, and now I have written a Python script to communicate with the cloud. So I will first transfer that file to my Revolution Pi desktop from my local PC desktop. This is code ub.reopy.di.py which we have written. Now we will run that file. We will exit from database, and if I enter this command, you will see another file ub.reopy_di.py. Now we will run that command. Sorry. To run this Python scripts, you have to enter this command python3 followed by the file name. Now this file is sending the input one status to the UB.Dots cloud. I will minimize all the windows so that you can see it clearly. Right now this is the input one, and I am sending the current value of my input one to a cloud. And suppose if I change the input, look in a camera, I will give a 24 volt supply on DI from the SMPS. You will change the notice on cloud itself. Now it is a 0. Once I give a 24 volt supply, then it will be 1. Now you can see that now the last value is 1. I hope all of you are able to notice these changes. If I remove this 24 volt supply, then again it will be 0. If I connect it, if I give again a 24 volt supply, then it will become 1. This is how you can monitor your data on clouds with easy Python scripts. Here you can have your status as well. Now this was about reading the status. Now we will see how we can control. Now I have one button created here, one switch I have created here, and we will turn on the digital output of the Revolution Pi through this button, which is cloud based, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. Now we will exit this script, and now we will load another script which I have written for to controlling. Now here this is a UB.Dots reopy.do.py. I will copy paste this on my Revolution Pi desktop. I will clear this window first. Now, if I enter the command ls, you will see the another file which we have just moved from my local desktop Windows PC to the RevPy Linux PC. This is windows_RevPy _pi. Python 3. Now we will run the scripts for controlling the digital output or any actuators from the cloud. do.py file we are executing now. Now the script has started and the it is getting value from the cloud. We will see here. Now the light is on, so here status is also on. If I turn it off from here, then you will see immediately the light turned off message you are getting. This is just how I programmed this in a Python. You can program the way you want, according to the control logic you have. If I click on, then it will again on. And same you can monitor on your another terminal as well. Suppose I will open another window. This window this is one application called PyTest, through which we can monitor what is the status of our IOs. PyTest to read. We are reading output 1, output underscore 1. This is a syntax actually. Read output 1. Now you can see here as well, and we will again do one more time. If I press off here, you will see the status is turned off and the bit value you are getting 0. And here in programming I have written this way, light is turned off, and in PyTest it is written in this way. And if I again click turn on, the light will on, and here you will get the message light turn on. Here is your bit value is also get changed. This is how you can able to communicate with your controllers through the IoT clouds. You can send notifications as well according to your logic. You because the limit I have surpassed, that's why I am not able to show it live. You might have seen the notice here, but I can show you the screenshots which I have taken earlier while performing this. Suppose I have written that when input 1 is low for more than 10 minutes, then it should send a notification, call or email notification. Thus, for that I have received that notification. I will show the screenshots, or otherwise I will play that audio as well. Here I have got the email alert from cloud. I will open this screenshot. Just you can set your alert, your notifications according to your requirement. I have just created one for demo purpose. Here you can see the alerts I have got on my email regarding input 1, REOPA input low alert. That is, it is saying, hey Pradeep, input underscore 1 was 00 at this time. So if you want to take any actions regarding that, you can take, or you can automate that actions as well based on the notifications. Here, the same notifications I have got. This is a screenshot from my mobile. Then here is a call alert also. I had set it. You can have call alert for that particular notification. Let me play this one. As I hope you all heard this clearly, that the call alert was saying that input one was low at the particular time. If the same way, you can write that logic the way you want, and you can share these visualizations to a respective person. Here you will get a share option, and through this link you can access this dashboard from anywhere in the world. So the basic idea to demonstrate this is to how capable this Revolution Pi is for your IIoT projects. Same, the whatever data you have gathered in that database, you can generate that data in Excel format, CSV, or JSON format as well, and you can do your analytics as well. I will give you one example how you can have access to that, how you can export that data. This is a open source software called MySQL Workbench, through which you can export that data, and you can do the analytics on the data you have gathered from Revolution Pi with help of Python script. Just you have to enter the IP address of your Revolution Pi here and test the connection, and write the password for the respective user. And now this is connected successfully. Now just click here, you will get access of all the databases, and you can do with the data whatever you want to do, the analytics. You can write your own ML machine learning algorithms as well. The data which we have seen on terminal, that data can also be seen from here as well. Once I execute this query, here you will see the data available. This is the last record we have inserted in database through the Python programming 10, 0.20, then 30. Then you can export the data you can export this data as well. all the column names you have to select, or whatever data you want to have, that you can select there. Then you have to choose a file name or file path. I will choose a demo2 here and click on next. Here you have seen the message 59 records have exported, and same you can see here as well, the demo2 has exported successfully in a CSV format. Here you can see all the data. Or you can get this data in a nice format from here. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can note it down in a comment box. It's taking little time. Let's wait for this to complete. Here we will give a path which we exported just now, and we will import this. This is the data we have got. We can transform this data and load it into Excel. This was the last point which was left from the previous webinar, that how we can export this data in Excel. So here you can see all the data in standard format. the temperature, the pressure, the humidity, whatever the names we have assigned. And this one is the last record which we have inserted through Modbus TCP master from slave devices with the help of Python code. These were the previous record which we inserted in last webinar. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I wanted to demonstrate through these two webinars to tell you about the capabilities of Revolution Pi, which is a perfect fit for your IIoT applications. And if you have any projects or your any inquiries, you can connect with us.
Yes, Pradeep, thank you so much for this quick and in detail webinar. We have a couple of questions in the chat box. We will discuss that now. Kirtan, please hold your question. Rajveer Singh, please hold your question. I'll get back to you. Before coming to these questions in the chat box, I would like to mention two important points to our onboard customers. The first point, recently the Kunbus had released a new device which is having all these DIO, HMI and USB in a single device. The device which you have seen in this webinar is a modular kind of device. With the same specification, you will get a single device which includes all specification. This is the first important point. The second important point is the customer who have already developed their project in the Raspberry Pi, they no need to change any program or anything else. You can straightforward way, you can take the data to Revolution Pi. So if you have interest on that, you please get back to us individually. We will clarify how you can collect the data from your Raspberry Pi to Revolution Pi without changing any of your program. So these two major important point which I wanted to mention. So I am coming to the question part which is mentioned in the chat box. Pradeep, please listen the question. Kirtan Reddy asked that does Revolution Pi has a Wi-Fi module such as Zigbee to connect wirelessly?
Can you repeat the question, Prashant sir?
So Revolution Pi has a Wi-Fi module such as Zigbee to connect wirelessly. That means he is asking any Wi-Fi module Revolution Pi has to connect wirelessly like Zigbee and others.
No, it has not inbuilt Wi-Fi facility, but you can use a USB-based dongle to connect wirelessly to your router Wi-Fi.
Okay, Kirtan, you can use any third party or you can use additional module to connect wireless to base device. So that was your first question. The second question was, can Revolution Pi be used as a PLC gateway, that is convert the data from Ethernet IP to Profinet or Modbus TCP? Kirtan, yes, you can use this device as a PLC where you can convert your Ethernet IP to Modbus TCP. So that is mentioned in the data sheet as well. So we will come back to you through email by sharing all the data sheet and required information. And Rajveer Singh, thank you so much for your kind words. And Rajendra Mahajan, thank you so much for your kind words. So that was the questions in the chat box. If anyone having a questions, please unmute your mic and you can ask the questions. Thank you.
So I hope there is no questions left. And if you have any doubts, you can connect with us or a phone number or an email. I will share in a chat box.
Another question from Atul Mistry. How is the cooling of the Revolution Pi processor done? Okay, so based on my little knowledge, Atul, there will be a heat sinks above the processor as like the latest computers. So that is the cooling method we have. I can send you the informative catalogs or the links to you through email. Can you please provide your email in the chat box? Atul, you can unmute your mic and you can. Yes, thank you, Atul. We got your email ID. I believe it's about the heat sink which cools the processor, but we don't want to give a half cooked information. We'll give you the complete information through email. Thank you. Tulsidhar sir, I got your question. IP rating in Revolution Pi. Pradeep, can you please proceed? How you can do IP rating in Revolution Pi?
IP rating, it is a IP20, it has a IP20 rating.
Yeah. So all Revolution Pi products is IP20 rating, Tulsidhar sir.
So thank you all participants. The we will look forward to have, if you have any IoT related projects, please be in touch with us.
Yeah.
Prashant sir, please share your contact details so that if any one of them have any doubts, they can directly reach to you.
Yes, sure. So thank you so much for your support. I believe this webinar was good, and also we need your positive and also a negative feedback on the webinar quality so that it helps us to improve. And also we'll be having similar kind of webinars with the different products like Helmholtz and also a O-ring. So we'll let you know about the timings and the convenient day. Please let us join together and support us. Thank you so much, each and everyone who are on the board. You can reach me out in the email ID which is mentioned in the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pradeep, and my management UL group. Thank you so much. Have a good time. Bye.